Okay guys, so we are back. So last time हमने in between इस content को छोड़ दिया था. That's why I'm thinking to complete this content first and then we will go towards the asymptotic notations. So in the very last lecture we have revised that what do we mean by algorithms, followed by we have seen about the properties of the algorithms, and then we have discussed some sort of loop in detail, and after that we discussed the question that whether this below program is an algorithm or not. Then we move towards our discussion like how we are able to construct any sort of algorithm, where we have seen that the design algorithm and the analysis is one of the most important factor which we basically need to focus on, and that's why we start our first discussion with the analysis part. So हमने लास्ट टाइम ये डिस्कस किया कि कोई भी प्रॉब्लम के एक से ज़्यादा सॉल्यूशन हो सकते हैं. नाउ द बेस्ट वन विल बी डिटरमाइंड बाय द एनालिसिस and which composed of basically two factors. First we have discussed about the time complexity part, and secondly we have discussed about the space complexity part. Now we have already discussed this also, that time complexity is somewhat which is composed of compile time and the run time. Then we have detailed discussion about posteriori and priori analysis, what is the basic difference between these two and why we move towards the priori analysis. I gave a very good example to you that everyone can't buy that super computer, but everyone has its own brain to write a nice logic. And after that we move towards a priori analysis, which is basically a determination of order of magnitude of a statement. And I explained this statement really well. Like, this is the bookish language, but what's the meaning of that particular statement is कि एक particular program के अंदर statement कितनी बार run हो रही है, that is the complexity part. मैंने आप लोगों को समझाने के लिए बार बार एक एग्जाम्पल देने के लिए बोला कि अगर किसी का कोड 5 सेकेंड्स में रन हो रहा है और आपका किसी और का कोड 5 मिनट्स में रन हो रहा है, सेम कोड, तो इंटरव्यूअर किसे चूज करेगा? इंटरव्यूअर उसे चूज करेगा जिसका कोड 5 सेकेंड्स में रन हो रहा है. बट एक्चुअली दिस इज फॉर द अंडरस्टैंडिंग फॉर यू गाइज. बट एक्चुअली हम जब एल्गोरिथम्स में आते हैं, घुसते हैं, तो एल्गोरिथम्स के अंदर हम सेकेंड्स में, मिली सेकेंड्स में कभी बात नहीं करते. हम बात करते हैं कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी के अंदर. एंड हमने विद द हेल्प ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स लेवल बाय लेवल देखा कि किस तरीके से हम बेसिकली टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी को निकालते हैं. We have seen that how we can determine the complexity of any given program. We have moved to we have started with the constant time complexity, then we discussed about O of n, and then we just moved towards O of n square time complexity. Now moving ahead, because you guys are like कि content is too much for you, but I hope हमने संडे को ये कंटेंट डिस्कस किया था, सबने अभी तक देख लिया होगा. सो टुडे आई जस्ट वांट टू कंप्लीट दिस कंटेंट सो दैट वी अगेन स्टार्ट आवर न्यू डिस्कशन विद asymptotic time complexity. So that's why there are, I think, only 3 problems left. So I complete the content of this particular introduction of analysis part, so that we can somewhat move to the depth part, and we will see about what do we mean by big O, what do we mean by theta, what do we mean by omega notation. So but before that, just try to find out the complexity of this particular problem. Just try to find out the complexity of this particular problem. So just follow the steps with me, guys. Take your copy and pen with you and just see how I am approaching to this problem, because at the end of the day you just have to see the concept. Okay, so we start as usual. जैसे हमने ऊपर किया कि हम n की किसी भी स्मॉल वैल्यू से स्टार्ट करते हैं और फिर हम देखते हैं कि लूप के अंदर कितनी बार वो स्टेटमेंट रन हो रही है, और उतनी बार हम एक बड़े स्ट्रक्चर पे देख लेते हैं और एनालाइज कर लेते हैं n की फॉर्म में, और वहीं हमारी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी हो जाती है. सीधा सा लॉजिक हमने अभी तक यही पढ़ा. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द वैल्यू ऑफ n इज इक्वल टू 10. ओके, नाउ अगेन मैंने वाइल लूप बहुत अच्छे से समझाया था लास्ट वीडियो में. जिसने नहीं देखी है वो दोबारा जाके पहले वो वीडियो देखे, उसके बाद इस वीडियो को एग्जामिन करे, अदरवाइज नहीं समझ में आएगा जो पहली बार देख रहा है और जिसको लूप्स के बारे में नॉलेज नहीं है. ओके, सो सबसे पहले कंडीशन चेकिंग होती है. इज 10 ग्रेटर देन 1? ट्रू. वाइल कंडीशन में ट्रू हुआ तो वो अंदर वाली स्टेटमेंट को रन करेगा. दिस इज द स्टेटमेंट, जो मैं बार बार स्टेटमेंट बोल रही हूँ. दिस इज द स्टेटमेंट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट एक्चुअली. सो इट्स ट्रू. अब एक स्टेप मैंने छोड़ दिया. यहाँ पे n की वैल्यू 10 है. अब मैं ये तो मैंने एज्यूम कर लिया. दिस इज माई assumption so that I can examine the time complexity. Now n की वैल्यू जो थी वही मैंने i के इक्विवेलेंट कर दिए. तो i is also equal to 10. Okay, now this will check whether the value of 10 is greater than equal to 1. Yes, it's true. So the value of I will now be equivalent to 10 minus 2, that is 8. Is it right? Now again condition will be checked. Is 8 greater than equal to 1? Yes, it's again true. Again the value of I will be updated to 6. Now again the condition will be checked. Whether 6 is greater than equal to 1? Yes, it's again true. And now the value of I is equal to 4. Now again we have to see whether the value of 4 is greater than equal to 1. Yes, it's again true. Now the value of I is equal to we need to do decrement by 2 now. I think this would be clear to you, or I should mention it very much carefully so that you will not get any sort of confusion. 8 minus 2. Okay, then 6 minus 2. I think now it's pretty much clear to you guys. Okay, now again there will be a condition checking task. 2 greater than equal to 1. Okay, this is also the true condition, as we know that the value of 2 is greater than or equal to 1. After that the value of I is equal to now again what is the value of I? 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. Cool. Now the value of 0 is greater than equal to 1. Now the condition came out to be false. When the condition came out to be false, then it will not go inside the while loop. That is what we have studied. So now no statement will be executed inside the while loop. So now the question for you guys: how many times the statement will be running? Or how many times the statement will be executed? What is the statement we're talking about? I is equals to I minus 2. Means this is the first time. This is the first time I can say this inner statement is executed. Then this is the second time this inner statement is executed. This is the third time this inner statement has been executed. And this is the fourth time when this inner statement has been executed. And this is the fifth time, okay, statement will be executed, and after that it will go out of the loop. Okay, so we have seen that for the value of n equal to 10, this loop will be executed 5 times. It means when the value of n is equal to 100, then that particular loop will be executed how many times? I think 50 times. If the value of n is equals to 1000, how many times this loop will be executed? 500 times. And if the value of n is to be very large, so I analyze that if the value of n in terms of n, we have seen that it will be executed n by 2 times. It means that overall time complexity will be order of n by 2. Overall time complexity will be order of n by 2, and this is also can be said that it will be equal to order of n. As I have already illustrated you that when the value of n will become very large, then it doesn't matter that if it will be incremented by 1, n plus 1, n minus 1, n plus 2, n divided by 2, it's all equivalent. And big O is the worst case, so we are talking about worst case only. We are not talking about any best case analysis here. So that's why overall time complexity of this particular program. So if I will say overall time complexity of above program is order of n by 2, which is equals to order of n. I think this problem is also very much clear to you all. Cool. Moving to next particular problem, problem number 6. Just analyze this problem also very much carefully. This is like the above problem only. Just you can say a very minute difference. Here we are dividing, here we are subtracting the value of I by 2. But when we talk about here we are subtracting the value of I firstly by 30 and then by 5. ये basically if anyone analyze this particular program very much consciously, we will get to know that these two statements can also be written into one particular statement, and they want to say only one thing, that value of I is decremented by 35 only. This is what basically this statement wants to say us. So I can say from the analysis of above program what we have seen कि जब 2 times decrement हो रहा है तो उस टाइम पे n by 2 टाइम स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट हो रही है. तो अगर तुम्हारी i की वैल्यू 35 टाइम्स डिक्रीमेंट होगी तो हाउ मेनी टाइम्स दिस लूप विल रन? Obviously for the value of n, this loop will run n by 35 times. There is no need to re-evaluate and to show all these steps again to you guys. ऊपर वाले प्रोग्राम से ही हमें ये बहुत क्लियर इंडिकेशन हो रहा है कि जितनी बार i की वैल्यू डिक्रीज होगी उतने टाइम्स n बाय उतने ही टाइम्स, लाइक अगर मैं 2 टाइम्स डिक्रीज कर रही हूँ तो n बाय 2 टाइम्स मेरी इनर स्टेटमेंट एग्जीक्यूट होगी. अगर मैं यहाँ पे 35 टाइम्स i की वैल्यू को डिक्रीज कर रही हूँ तो n बाय 35 टाइम्स होगी. जैसे कि कहते हैं कि पुरानी गलतियों को एनालाइज करो और आगे सेम रिपीट मत करो. सिमिलरली एल्गोरिथम के अंदर है कि पुरानी चीज़ों को एनालाइज करके भी हम आगे के रिजल्ट्स बता सकते हैं, तो हमें दोबारा से वो चीज़ें दोहराने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. विद द हेल्प ऑफ द प्रीवियस कंटेंट, आई नो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स आफ्टर सीइंग दिस स्टार्ट डूइंग work, they don't even think about this, that above thing is also same. कि हमने जब 2 बार डिक्रीज किया, यहाँ पे i की वैल्यू 35 टाइम्स डिक्रीज हो रही है. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस ओनली इन द कॉन्स्टेंट्स, एंड order of O will never consider the constant part. So if I am saying this is O of n by 35 times, n by O of n by 35, and it will consider this value as order of n only. So there is no need to analyze it again, okay? क्योंकि हमने ऊपर इस चीज़ का एनालिसिस ले लिया है. But still, I recommend to everyone to write again to with the help of your copy pen and just try to analyze that how it will be n by 35. मैंने n by 2 का करके दिखाया है. आप एक एग्जाम्पल लो, n की वैल्यू को कोई बड़ी वैल्यू लेके चलो, कोई भी वैल्यू ले सकते हैं क्योंकि हम इसे 35 डिक्रीज कर रहे हैं. सो वी कैन टेक द वैल्यू ऑफ n एज 100 and then we will decrease the content 100 or 200, and just analyze that how many times this n value goes down. Okay, and this is the last problem that we have to see in that particular session, but that was a bit long. So just focus this again very much carefully. This is also new to you guys. Okay, this is also very new learning. Now here again I will take the value of n, suppose 64. Is it fine? This is my assumption. Again, this is my assumption. Okay, so I again start with the value of I is equal to 1. Again the condition will be checked. Now this value is given to me. अभी तक हम जो n की वैल्यू थी उसी को I में असाइन कर रहे थे और वाइल कंडीशन के अंदर आ रहा था. अब यहाँ पर मेरे को कोड के अंदर ही गिवन है कि I की वैल्यू 1 है. नाउ इट इज चेकिंग क्या 1 इज लेसर देन 64 है. यस, it's true. So what will happen? In while loop, value of I will become 2 into I, which is equal to 2 into 1, which is equal to 2. Again it will check whether the value of 2 is less than 64. Yes, it's true. Again the value of I will become 2 into I, which is equal to 2 into 2, which is equals to 4. But I will copy this content so that I again don't read to write again and again. Okay, now 4 is again, if you will see, less than 64. Yes, this is very much true. So again the value of I will become 2 into 4, which is equals to 8. Again this will check whether the value of I is less than equal to 64. Yes, this will be again true. So the value of I will become now 2 into 8, which is equals to 16. Now again the value of 16, is it lesser than 64? Again this will be true. Now again the value of I will become 2 into 16, which is equals to 32. Again you can say the value of 32 less than 64. Is it fine? Yes, this is true. So this is the case. Now again the value will become 2 into 32, which is equal to 64. Now we have to see 64 less than 64. No, it's again a false statement. Again no statement will be executed after this, है ना, बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमारी स्टेटमेंट फॉल्स हो गई है तो वो वाइल लूप के अंदर नहीं जाएगा, तो कोई एग्जीक्यूशन ही नहीं होगा. सो हाउ मेनी टाइम्स अवर स्टेटमेंट विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड? दिस इज द स्टेटमेंट. वाइल लूप के अंदर हमारे पास एक ही स्टेटमेंट थी which we are talking about. So we need to analyze now. This is the analysis time. First time, second time, third time, okay, fourth time, okay, fifth time, it's also fine, and then sixth time. Okay, so we get to know the how many times statement will be executed. It will be 6 times. If I take the value of 64, this will be executed 6 times. Fine. If I will take the value of n is equal to 32, then you can analyze here only. 32 पे वो यहीं रुक जाता, क्योंकि 32 लेस देन 32 पे यहीं कंडीशन स्टॉप हो जाती है, तो 5 टाइम्स. I think it's bit clear now. Can you find any relationship between these values? जब 64 है तो 6 टाइम आ रहा है, 32 है तो 5 टाइम आ रहा है. Do we have any relationship? Just think very much consciously. Yes, we do have. log of base 2, log and base 2 is the relationship. If we do 64 log of base 2 64, I think you know the how to find the logarithmic value. But those who didn't know, I'll try to make you clarify. I think I should use this, but my writing will be very bad because it's very new for me. But okay, I will try. Otherwise, we will move to the word pad if you will not able to understand with the help of this whiteboard. Okay, so I'm saying if the value of n if the value of n is equals to 64, then I am saying log base 2n. So how we will evaluate this value? Just see this very much carefully. Don't focus on my handwriting. I know it's very bad right now, but I'll improve it. No worries. Okay. So log of 64 base 2. Just see how we will evaluate the logarithmic value. Log base 2, I can write this value as 2 to the power 6. Now, because as we know that 2 to the power 6 is nothing but it is equals to 64 only. Now, so what will happen? These two values, base 2 and log 2, will be equivalent to 1. Actually, what will happen? This power will come outside log 2 base 2. And the value, if the base and the value are same, these will cancel out with each other and will generate a value of 1. That should know, everyone should know this concept. Basically, this is very basic maths, you should know. Okay, so overall you will have the value of 6. Similarly, like I am saying, just erase this. I think it will work. Oh wow, it's working. So it's okay, I'm very new to this whiteboard. I will be having after some time good habit of this. No worries. Okay, just close down. Okay, so now I think it's working. Yeah, if the value of n is equal to 32, now again we want to find the value of log 32 base 2. So your first step will be to generate the value of 32 in the power of 2. So how will you do that? Log base 2, 2 to the power 5. Again power will come outside. So this will be 5 log 2 base 2, and this value, as I already said, this will cancel out with each other and will generate the value as 1. So this value will become, as we know, 5 into 1, which is equal to 5 only. Now I think you will get to know that how I am able to get the value 6 and 5. So overall time complexity, now you can tell me easily that the overall time complexity of above program is order of log of n base 2. मैं बेस को अंडरस्कोर से रिप्रेजेंट कर रही हूँ because we can't represent this base and this by typing. So but you know this is the base. My meaning of writing is log base 2n, order of log base 2n. This is the time complexity. Okay, so it's fine for you guys now, I think. But still, if you have any errors, if you are not able to understand all these things, whatever I have covered today, just write in the comment box, or I will be live on Saturday again. Then we will discuss if you all are having any sort of doubt, okay? So no worries at all. But I'll request everyone that before coming to Saturday's class, please go through with these problems, because in the next class I will start with the asymptotic notation. So I just want to everyone, please go through this video once, and here I'll discuss. Basically we start with, I think, problem number 5. Yeah, So problem number 5, 6 and 7. There are only 3 problems that I have discussed in this session. So please go through with that before coming to next session. Okay, this is my humble request to everyone. So we came to the conclusion of this topic that we have discussed starting from live session 2, that टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज नथिंग बट इट इज लूप ओनली, है ना. क्योंकि कभी हम फोर लूप के अंदर स्टेटमेंट्स को देख रहे हैं, कभी हम वाइल लूप में देख रहे हैं, और अगर लूप ही नहीं है तो कोई टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी का मतलब नहीं है. उसमें हम सिर्फ क्या बोलते हैं कि कांस्टेंट टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है. हमने स्टार्ट वहीं से किया था जहाँ पे एक लूप ही नहीं है. जब लूप नहीं है तो दैट वुड बी अ कांस्टेंट टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. यू विल से दिस इज समथिंग which is the best case time complexity. That also we have seen. Okay, after that the second conclusion is not only loop, we have also discussed about the larger loop. मैंने second example में शायद, if I am not wrong, हाँ second example में और third example में हमने discuss किया. If I take the example, third example, we have seen कि it's not about loop. loop तो यहाँ पर भी था, loop यहाँ पर भी था, लेकिन हम हमेशा जो बिगर लूप होता है जिस उसको हम बेसिकली वो कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी होती है, बिकॉज वी ऑलवेज टॉक अबाउट द वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो. सो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज ऑल अबाउट लूप. सेकेंडली दैट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट लूप बट द लार्जर वन. अगर उस लूप में ऑर्डर ऑफ n क्यूब भी आ जाता, इन एनी केस अगर मैं बोलूँ n भी है, n स्क्वायर भी है और n क्यूब भी है, so which will you consider? Overall time complexity will be obviously n cube now. So here it's not only loop, it's about the larger loop. And if in a program there is no loop at all, then the complexity will be order of 1, that you know now really well, and this is the best case scenario that we have seen. We start with that particular program only. So I think now the time complexity part is little bit easier for you guys to understand. I think the basic ground that I want to generate with all of you guys, I think अब सबको ये चीज़ जो मैं चाह रही थी कि थोड़ा बहुत मैं आप लोगों को आइडिया दे दूँ, क्लियरिटी दे दूँ कि what is time complexity. I am talking about again and again starting from very session first. तो अब आपको क्लियर हो गया होगा टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी कुछ नहीं है, बस लूप के अंदर कितनी बार स्टेटमेंट रन हो रही है हमें उसे एनालाइज करना, और वही हमारी टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी होती है. इन डिटेल वी विल गो एंड वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट 3 टाइप्स ऑफ टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी: बिग O, थीटा एंड ओमेगा नोटेशन रिप्रेजेंटेशंस, एंड विच विल बी कंसिडर्ड. वैसे तो नाम से ही पता चल रहा है अब आपको, क्योंकि हमने ऊपर से नीचे तक बिग O की बात करी है, थीटा ओमेगा मैंने एक बार भी नहीं बोला है. सो या बिग O will be considered, and you know why? Because this is the worst. This will consider the worst case scenario actually. Okay, so with this I will complete this particular part, okay, and end this session. So thank you all. Happy learning to all. Okay.